Hey, hello and welcome. In this video, I want to talk about a very serious concern in the realms of mental health and social media. Now, if in any way you're using social media in this particular expression I'm going to discuss in this video, you may be using it to get further advancements in your mental health, whether that be reducing anxiety or increasing your confidence. But if you're using it in this way, it could be making everything much worse, meaning that you get trapped in anxiety and it's virtually impossible to increase your confidence. Now, online today, we can see an ever-growing number of millions of these 10-second, 20-second and 30-second videos promising top tips around mental health. But did you know that even though it might feel like when you watch these videos, you get the exact answer that you need in that moment in time, you don't need to put any effort in, and then you're armed with a technique that you can go on to improve your life in some way, shape and form. But unfortunately, something much more destructive is happening in the background. And when I mean destructive, I mean very destructive, because what's happening is it's starting to create an ever-growing wave of mental health issues in the form of ADHD-type symptoms. And again, this is a very real thing, and it is affecting millions, if not billions of people each and every day. Now, I was born in 1975, so that was obviously way before the internet, and we were taught to read books, which takes time. We were taught to watch films, which could be over an hour in length at a time. And although a lot of people, when I was growing up, had ADHD-type symptoms, and ADHD is a very real thing, by the way, no matter what anybody says, I'm going to explain more about it in this video. But it is becoming much more pronounced, and I've noticed from my own research, since the inclusion of millions of these 10-second, 20-second and 30-second videos promising top tips for mental health. So firstly, what is ADHD? Well, ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Dysregulation. Now, there are many different ways to look at this. It could be genetic, but I focus mainly on the behavioral aspects of ADHD. I'm going to be making more videos about this, so feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want more access to those as they come out. But ADHD is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Dysregulation. Long, complicated way of saying attention deficit, we struggle to focus. And then that leads to we get confused because we are struggling to focus on more than one thing at a time. And then we get that stress trigger because we need to be able to focus if we are to work through our everyday challenges, and more importantly, to process anxiety. So if we have got attention deficit by training our mind to watch these quick fix videos and jump from one thing to another, to another, to another, we are training our mind not to be present. So then, again, when we're trying to deal with anxiety, it makes it so much harder. So we get attention deficit, we get a stress overload, which then speeds up our thoughts even more. But if we've trained our mind to jump from one thing to another, we cannot focus in the moment. So our attention deficit speeds up because we've got hormone dump. And then that leads to a further stress overload, which then speeds up our thoughts even more. And then the process that we may be used to is jump from one thing to another, to another, to another. Now, if, say, for example, you're just tuning out because you've had a long day at work and you're watching a cat video, that's fine if you want to do that. But when it comes down to mental health, I'm here to tell you now, if you're going to get results for mental health, maybe anxiety, working through past trauma, or whatever area it may be, you have to be able to focus. But if you're watching 10-second, 20-second, 30-second videos, getting that dopamine hit, jumping from one thing to another, what you're actually doing is you're training your physiological brain, your neurology, to not focus. So to work through anxiety, to improve your confidence, to have sustainable relationships, you need to be able to focus your brain for more than 10 to 30 seconds. But anything you do on a repeated process will build a habit. Ask yourself, how many of these videos are you watching 10 second, 20 second, 30 second, jumping around? because whatever you're doing on a consistent basis is going to build that neurological habit. So again, although it might feel like watching these quick fix videos is the exact thing that you need to do, you get that top tip, it's actually going to be disempowering you. Because although the information that may be shared in, say, a 30-second video could be really useful, what you're actually doing is you're stopping your brain from focusing on one thing, being completely present. But let's look at why this can be an absolute disaster, and I do mean disaster, for your future. Say, for example, you're in your work role. Work is going to require focus. But if your mind is used to jumping about all over the place, you're not going to be able to focus. So what impact could that have on your job role in the future? It could mean that you might lose your job. Or what about one of the most fulfilling things in our lives? Relationships. It could be your romantic relationship or your relationship with your children. They require focus, not just for a quick chat, but sometimes it might be an hour-long conversation or a particular area that you're working through that might last weeks to refocus so you come to a harmonious connection and rebalance that challenge that you might have been working through. The content or information in these videos is for educational and informational purposes only. It is your responsibility what you do with this information. If your brain is used to jumping from one thing to the other and getting that quick fix, can you imagine the devastating impact that that could have on your future relationships? But not only just work and relationships, it could be anything in your life. So although watching these 10-second videos that promise you top mental health tips might feel really good, it's not the information that you should be concerned about. It's how it's training your mind to focus. Because if you do not learn the ability to focus your mind on one thing for a long period of time, then that can have a devastating impact on your mental health. And then if you have a devastating impact on your mental health, that can then affect everything in your future. Your job, your relationships, your physical health, your ability to learn new skills. All of those areas could be affected. Like I say, ADHD is a very real thing. Now, some people might say, well, it's just the way I am. My brain jumps around. That's just it. But then they're constantly watching these quick fix videos. And for me, that would be like somebody drinking a bottle of wine every day and then start to stumble about and fall over. And then saying, well, it's just me. I've got stumbleitis. Well, it could be the fact that you're drinking a bottle of wine every day, cause and effect. Now, I'm going to be honest, with this video, you can do whatever you want with your life. If you want to tune in and watch 10-second, 20-second videos or quick fix reels in whichever social media platform you choose, it's up to you. But whatever you do today will echo in your future. However, if you do want to improve your mental health, going on this strategy of being able to focus your mind, some of the things that I would suggest are, don't keep tuning in to these quick fix videos unless you're going to watch longer form videos afterwards. Then if you are watching longer form videos, obviously such as this one, make notes. Go over the same video again and again. Make it into an exercise that you can learn as much as you can from one video. And maybe set a timer to focus for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. One exercise could be that you watch one of these quick fix videos and then learn that particular topic, and then block out an hour of your time to discover as much as you can about that particular topic you watched in the 20-second video. Really dig deep into it. Look online, look on websites, but only focus on that one particular area. Don't let your mind diversify itself. Stick to that one topic. Because in doing that, what you're doing is you're training your brain to get into a habit pattern of focusing on one thing at a time for a set duration. So I hope this video can help resetting your neurological brain to get the most out of your education around mental health. There is no doubt about it that these quick fix videos can give you really powerful education in a short period of time. But my concern here is for people just using that style of education, only the quick fix videos. The unfortunate thing is they're training their brain to jump around all over the place. So if you want to see any further videos as an expansion of the areas that I'm covering here on this video, feel free to put them in the comments below, because it's great to hear your feedback, and also any feedback that you've got of your experience of tuning into these quick fix videos and the effect that it's had on your mental health. Because from my point of view, this is becoming a growing concern, especially for future generations that are tuning into this from the prior generation being hopelessly addicted to the quick fix. So any thoughts, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.